One major issue with this Mustang, and it has always bothered me, was how high it was in the back. I've after removing a helper spring out of the back of this car and it still hasn't lowered it down anything. So I'm going to work on getting the back of this car lower. I started off by taking a bunch of measurements. I had a donation of some S10 springs here. The arch was smaller and I was hoping that I could use them. I had the back of this car apart before, so it wasn't that hard to take it apart. I did not want to get into replacing the main leaf because the front bolts on these Mustangs are extremely hard to get out, and most times you got to cut them. I never had another main leaf, and I had no plans of ordering one in. I was trying to see if I can piece something together to make this car sit proper by using the stock spring that is in it. First thing I noticed with the S10 spring, it was lower, but it was longer on the front. I was going to leave it alone, but it went too far forward on the spring, so it had to be shortened. All I did is I took the original spring, laid it up against it, put the center bolt in through it, and then just marked it and cut it off. I rounded out the front of the spring because if you don't round out the front of the spring after you cut it, it will cut into the spring above it. This is the two smaller leaves, one from the Mustang and one from the S10. Both of them had the same bow, so at this point, I just turn around and put the Mustang one back in the car. With the S10 spring cut, it showed to be about 1.5 inches shorter in bow than the Mustang spring, which I was hoping that this was going to bring this down drastically. Boy, was I wrong. Yep, all that work, and it just lowered it 1/4 inch. Attempt number 2. What I'm doing here now is I got the springs removed to get out of it, and I got these two bottom ones here taken out. And what I have here is a straight helper leaf out of an S10. Okay, that's all that one is. It's just straight. I need the spacing on the bottom of. I got to have a pack of 4 in here because of the way the setup works. This is the setup here. Okay. I need 4-pack springs to go in there to close up the gap for the bottom plate. Any less than that is not going to tighten up, so I got to make sure there's at least 4. So I'm going to use that as a filler to put in there, and we're straight. It shouldn't do it on it. I'm trying to see if I can get some more bow out of it. And then I'll give this a try and see what that does. I took 2 leaves out, these two here, and I put this straight helper leaf in from an S10 pickup. And there it is. So I want it. It's a lot nicer like that. So now I just got to do the other side. I wasn't sure how good it was going to work, but it worked out way better just by putting the helper in it. Jack this all up now and get the other side changed out. Before I take this side apart, I'm going to show you what I got done here. This here is the factory Mustang leaf. This one here is an S10, and both of these here were the original Mustang ones. As you can see the way this is set up here, I need a pack this big in order to make this work. So it's got to be like 4 leaf springs in there. What I ended up doing is I removed this one and I removed that one. Over on this side, you can see the way it is. This here now, this is what they call a helper spring in an S10. This one's S10, this one's S10, that's the factory Mustang. It's only 3 leaf springs, but down here, if you look at it, it's a really thick spring, right? And that's how I achieved the height that I wanted, by doing it this way here. You know, fellas are going to say you should have just went out and bought this. You should have just went out and got this kit and bought that and done this type of thing. I'm a hot rodder, okay? I like making stuff from other stuff. So, like, you know, I made this all work. It got to the height that I wanted it. If I want to lower it anymore now, I'll just build a block to put in here to lower it down. But I'm quite happy where it's to now. And I'm not going to worry about lowering the car right now. So what I'm going to do now is I want to get the race now and get the other side glued up, and get the spring changed over and get this all back to normal again. So there you have it. I got her all lowered down. All the back of it, both sides are done. This side's the same way. It's not stuck right up in the air no more. I'm very pleased with this. Was one thing I was concerned with this car was getting the back down. If you look at the rockers and everything on this now, it's got a nice stance to it. I'd like to lower it another inch, but I got to get the other wheels and everything on it yet. These are not staying on this car. You know, I have wheels that I'm doing for this car. Set of 16s, I think. 16s, yes. And the same style as this. I won't show you them right now. But I wanted to get this car sitting level. I measured up here, and now I knocked almost 2.5 inches out of the height of the back of the car. The measurement here now and here is pretty well. It's 25 inches, 25 and a quarter, that type of thing. She's still lopsided a small bit over there, not as bad as she was. This here is the same. This front corner is still down a small bit. I'm not too concerned about it. It's one of those things. I had the front apart looking at it. This here looks to be a new spring in it, and that's an old spring, so it's going to need a set of springs put in front of it. I don't want to get into that right now because it's good enough to get this on the road. I have a few other things I get done with this car. It's really putting up a fight, okay? Everything I go at with it just seems to be fighting me. I've been fooling around trying to get these mouldings on. Clips didn't work. Bent the moulding, repaired the moulding, put it back on again with clips. Wouldn't fit properly, kept popping off. Bent the moulding, had to repair the moulding. So now I got all the clips removed and I got them glued on there. It's been like that a day or so now, and I'm just trying to leave it alone. The moulding is there, as you can see, right? That's just tape holding it all in place. I'm hoping it's going to stay on there. I don't like how these goes on. This is a bad thing, okay? They're in a rubber seal, and then there's a clip right here. Now, when you push out on this clip, water gets in behind it, okay? And these were always known. They were supposed to be like dum-dum put in behind this here when it was put in, and never is. And this thing probably leaked. I know it probably did. And like you see it up here, the way they're done, the clips. There's a clip there, see? There's an issue. But I'm trying to get all that back together. But anyway, I got this all straightened away. I figured I'd take you long. It's going to be a little quick little video. I'm here trying to make videos, and I'm trying to finish this car off. I know, like, I've definitely done a couple of videos now on this car, and for some reason, nobody likes watching this old Mustang. I can't help it, okay? You know, you guys would rather see me over here welding up this thing here, right? Or see me over welding that thing up over there. I get that, okay? The problem I got is that I got to get this out of the shop, okay? And in order for me to get it done, I got to stay at it. It's been fighting me. I can tell you, there's days that I come out and work on this and I walk away from it because I've said it before and I'll probably say it again. Everything I put on this car, I put on at least 4 times, okay? Nothing just bolted onto this car, done. I'll do a full video on the whole car when it's done. I'm just trying to get some videos out there that I can turn around and cover my YouTube, okay? The problem with it is that the algorithms tell me that people don't watch this stuff. I understand that. But it's either put out something simple as this or nothing at all, okay? So please bear with me. I have a lot of content that I got to get done here that I'm going to show you, but I want to get this car finished first. It's been a long time. You know, you've probably seen that I've been at stuff. But the problem with it is that, you know, I can honestly tell you, I've worked on this car and walked away from it for 2 or 3 days. I'm not in no mood to be at this because of it or at that, okay? It's just one of those things. Because my whole goal is to get this thing completed, done. I want to get all the little details got to be done on it. I've run into some issues with the steering in it since I've got the car straightened away. There's tightness in the steering column. When I got to haul the rack and pinion and everything out of the car and the steering shaft and make up a whole new shaft down to that. I had the trouble with the flywheel. I turned around and must have damaged the rack because I had a drop down out of it. I must have damaged the universal in the shaft. And I was at that last night. I took it out, tidied it all up, put it back in, moved it around. It's still tight on the wheel. So I got to scrap the whole shaft in it and make a whole new shaft on it. So I had to get away from that, and then I went at this today, then I spent the whole day at that, and I never got no good, got 1/4 inch. So I come out here tonight, went back at it again, okay, to get that done. So please bear with me on this, okay? I'm trying to get this car done. As soon as I get this car done, I'm going to be hopping right on this and hopping right on that, and I'll get some good content out. I got some doors that I got to do here. Of course, I got that all covered over there. I still got to do a whole bunch of stuff with that. I'm going to be taking the body off of this now. Since it's summertime, I'm taking the body off so I can get everything welded up. This one over here, I got to do all the doors and everything on it. And then I'm going to get started on all the front. There's a whole bunch of work to be done on the front of this here. And I got some little extras, a little thing here that I got to do a video on. Maybe asking, what have I got left to do? I got 3 pages here. 3 pages that I'm slowly getting through. I get this done. The car is done. That's it for that. I don't mean to be boring you with more Mustang stuff. I'm sorry, boss. I got to get something out this week. Hope the tips were good. And until next time. Peanut, can you help me with this? What do you think I should do? Huh? You think this is going to work or what? You in there and tell me if I'm doing that right, will you?